Well, people are sending us messages, but they're not showing up.
So can I get a slightly bigger version of that? Smize it. Yeah, thank you. But then I don't get the messages.
Well, the messages should pop up on
Should
the
they?
screen, actually.
Right.
Although it's not connected at the moment. So you've got Simon, Maggie,
So yes, hello everyone. Welcome to Sangha night here again at the Nottingham Buddhist Centre. So Gareth saying there's already a few people writing little messages saying they're with us. So do feel free to put comments on the side. We're just going to be waiting for a few minutes. I still can't see the comments. Where do I get the comments? Unable to connect to chat. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, so I can't see who is commenting, but participants, what about that? Great. Yes. Okay. So Gareth's just sorting out the comments. So great, we've got Keith with us. Lovely to have you, Keith, and Maggie, Claire, great. Nicola, great, lovely to have you all join us for Sangha night. So yeah, all's well here at the Nottingham Buddhist Centre. Ari Varchin's a little poorly tonight. He's not serious, and he's certainly not got coronavirus, so there's no need to worry about that, but he's going to join us for the second half. He's not in the shrine room with us at the moment. But yeah, this is just part. We're running quite a few different activities throughout the week. So Monday night we've still got, I think there are 3 Mitra study groups happening on Monday nights. I'm doing a group, it's a sort of follow-on course. Some of the people from the follow-on course that I started just before lockdown. So I do that on a Tuesday evening. We have Tuesday lunchtime drop-in. We have Friday morning drop-in, or at least introduction to meditation. So Rachel's doing Tuesday lunchtime. Gareth's doing Friday lunchtime, I think. And then a team of people doing Tuesday evening, just a drop-in meditation class on the Tuesday evening. We've got Thursday evening, Kame doing another study group for women. We've got Puja night on some Fridays. There is going to be a Puja night this Friday. I think Bodhi and I might say more about that in the second half of the evening. I'm leading a morning for some of the men who've asked for ordination on Saturday. Shantika's been doing Bodhi yoga sessions on Monday, just I think like 5:30 to 6:30 or 6:45, something like that. And then we've got other events happening at the weekends as well. So we're running a good range of activities here at the Nottingham Buddhist Centre. Lots happening. One of the main things coming up is Buddha Day. So the Sangha nights at the moment, we're doing a series of, in the second half in the Zoom groups, we've got a series of talks. So we had Kshantika gave a talk 2 weeks ago, I gave one last week, Ari Varchin this week, I think Padmasaki's doing one next week, and then Kame Siri the week after, all on little incidents from the life of the Buddha. So this is part of our focus on Buddha Day. So Thursday the 7th of May is the actual full moon day, and we're going to be celebrating it on Saturday the 9th. So I might say a little bit more about that later, but we'll send out an email and we'll put details on our website. So hoping quite a few of you will join us for some part of Buddha Day. It's going to be a whole day of celebrations and events happening on Saturday the 9th of May. So anybody else joined us? Tom, good to have Tom with us. Someone with the strange name of Fotbullock.
Yes, Mona.
Mona. Hello, Mona. Very nice to have you with us. Yeah, so we'll just wait for another minute or two and then we'll start just by saluting the shrine and begin our evening. Yes, so 24 people. So let's begin. It's 25 to 8. That's the traditional time to start. So we'll just start with saluting the shrine. We're going to do it in call and response. Do we want to just do the quick camera thing?
Yeah.
I'm here, Satchinama, if I haven't met you before. And I've got 3 of the other men that I live with in the community. There's Richard.
Rich.
There's Darren.
Hello.
And Gareth, who is very ably dealing with the technical side of the live streaming, amongst other things. He does lots of different things for us here at Buddhist Centre. So yeah, we'll start by saluting the shrine. We'll do it in call and response, and I invite you to salute if you've got a shrine at home, or just join in whatever way you think is appropriate with the shrine salutation. But we'll just salute the 3 jewels.
Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Sanghaya, Namo Namah. Namo Namah Om Ahum.
Great, so Kama Series also just joined us. Lovely to have you with us, Kama Series. So we're going to start with a reading. In the group that I was leading last night, one of the topics that came up was rebirth, the old chestnut of rebirth. So we were talking about that in different ways, but I mentioned a text called the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the Bardo Thodol. So when I thought about a reading for this evening, I thought it'd be good to have a reading taken from the Bardo Thodol. It's a very famous text attributed to Padmasambhava, a Terma text of Padmasambhava. And it describes the whole process of what happens at death, according to the Tibetan meditative Buddhist tradition. It's quite a detailed text. But the bit we're going to hear is an inspiration prayer for guidance on the dangerous pathways of the bardo. So the bardo is the in-between state, the in-between the death of the physical body and taking rebirth in some new form. Tibetan tradition has that, and that's a 49-day period. So partly I thought that this notion of the bardo, this in-between state, seems relevant to our times. We're in this very unusual period of lockdown, probably like nothing else anybody's experienced in their lives. We're 6 weeks in now, 6 weeks into this period. And it's a time where change can happen. The traditional teaching on the bardo is that it creates an opportunity for spiritual realization, certainly for change for the better. So it seemed relevant in that way. But also this inspiration prayer, it's very much a kind of devotional invocation of the 5 Buddhas of the mandala. So that's Akshobhya, Vairochana, Akshobhya, Ratnasambhava, Amitabha and Amoghasiddhi, so figures that you may be familiar with, and also some other figures are invoked, helping us to cross this dangerous period of the pathway. So perhaps you're feeling that you need to call on some other resource to help you through this period. Buddhism, at least later Buddhist tradition, Mahayana tradition, but it's also there in the Pali tradition, talks about calling on the support of the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas to help us, help guide us through this, the bardo of life that we're in. So, yes, it seems relevant to call on and invoke the Buddhas to help us through this period of the lockdown, which we don't know how long it's going to last. So Darren is going to read, it's a longish reading, so Darren's going to read it. We'll sit for a couple of minutes and he'll read, and then I'm just going to lead us in the mantras of the 5 Buddhas of the mandala, and we're going to do it in the way that we have the concluding mantras at the end of a puja, so we'll just do them 3 times. So I'll recite the mantra of Varochana once, and then my 3 community friends here will recite it. I'll do it again. So yes, again, feel free to join in on the response part of that. We'll just do each of the 5 Buddha mantras 3 times, and then we'll go into a period of mindfulness of breathing. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we'll just take a couple of minutes to settle, and then I'll ring a bell and Darren will read the inspiration prayer for deliverance from the dangerous pathway of the bardo from the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Herein is contained the aspirational prayer which rescues from the dangerous pathways of the intermediate states. I bow down to the spiritual teachers, meditational deities, and dakinis. May I be guided on the path by their great love. Oh, as I roam in cyclic existence, driven by deep-seated bewilderments, may the spiritual teachers, holders of the oral lineages, draw me forward, leading me on the path of radiant light, which is undistracted study, reflection, and meditation. May the supreme consorts, the hosts of dakinis, support me from behind, and thus encircled may I be rescued from the fearsome passageway of the intermediate state, and be escorted to the level of an utterly perfect Buddha. Oh, as I roam in cyclic existence, driven by deep-seated delusion, may the transcendent Lord Varochana draw me forward, leading me on the path of radiant light, which is the pristine cognition of reality's expanse. May the supreme consort Akasha Deteshvari support me from behind, and thus encircled may I be rescued from the fearsome passageway of the intermediate state, and be escorted to the level of an utterly perfect Buddha. Oh, as I roam in cyclic existence, driven by deep-seated aversion, may the transcendent Lord Akshobhya draw me forward, leading me on the path of radiant light, which is the mirror-like pristine cognition. May the Supreme Consort Buddha Lochana support me from behind, and thus encircled may I be rescued from the fearsome passageway of the intermediate state, and be escorted to the level of an utterly perfect Buddha. Oh, as I roam in cyclic existence, driven by deep-seated pride, may the transcendent Lord Ratnasambhava draw me forward, leading me on the path of radiant light, which is the pristine cognition of sameness. May the Supreme Consort Mamaki support me from behind, and thus encircled may I be rescued from the fearsome passageway of the intermediate state, and be escorted to the level of an utterly perfect Buddha. Oh, as I roam in cyclic existence, driven by deep-seated attachment, may the transcendent Lord Amitabha draw me forward, leading me on the path of radiant light, which is the pristine cognition of discernment. May the Supreme Consort Pandaravasini support me from behind, and thus encircled may I be rescued from the fearsome passageway of the intermediate state, and be escorted to the level of an utterly perfect Buddha. Oh, as I roam in cyclic existence, driven by deep-seated envy, may the transcendent Lord Amoghasiddhi draw me forward, leading me on the path of radiant light, which is the pristine cognition of accomplishment. May the Supreme Consort Samayatara support me from behind, and thus encircled may I be rescued from the fearsome passageway of the intermediate state, and be escorted to the level of an utterly perfect Buddha. Oh, as I roam in cyclic existence, driven by the 5 virulent poisons, may the transcendent conquerors, the male Buddhas of the 5 enlightened families, draw me forward, leading me on the path of radiant light, which is the 4 pristine cognitions combined. May the 5 supreme female Buddhas, the purity of the expanse, support me from behind, and thus encircled may I be rescued from the light paths of the 6 impure classes of beings, and be escorted to the 5 utterly supreme and pure Buddha fields. Oh, as I roam in cyclic existence, driven by deep-seated habitual tendencies, may the assembly of spiritual heroes and awareness holders draw me forward, leading me on the path of radiant light, which is the co-emergent pristine cognition. May the Supreme Consorts, the hosts of the Dakini, support me from behind, and thus encircled may I be rescued from the fearsome passageway of the intermediate state, and be escorted to the level of an utterly perfect Buddha. Oh, as I roam in cyclic existence, driven by deep-seated bewildering perceptions, may the assembly of blood-drinking, wrathful deities draw me forward, leading me on the path of radiant light, which is free of fear and terrifying perceptions. May the assembly of the Krodeshvari, queens of the expanse, support me from behind, and thus encircled may I be rescued from the fearsome passageway of the intermediate state, and be escorted to the level of an utterly perfect Buddha. May the elements of space not arise as a hostile force. May I see them as the field of the blue Buddha. May the elements of water not arise as a hostile force. May I see them as the field of the white Buddha. May the elements of earth not arise as a hostile force. May I see them as the field of the yellow Buddha. May the elements of fire not arise as a hostile force. May I see them as the field of the red Buddha. May the elements of wind not arise as a hostile force. May I see them as the field of the green Buddha. May the awesome sounds, lights and rays not arise as a hostile force. May I see them as the infinite fields of the peaceful and wrathful deities. May the rainbow-coloured elements not rise up as a hostile force. May I see them as the fields of the manifold Buddhas. May I recognise all sounds as my own sounds. May I recognise all lights as my own lights. May I recognise all rays as my own rays. May I spontaneously recognise the characteristics of the intermediate states. May the fields of the three Buddha bodies be manifest. Samaya.
So now we'll just invoke each of the 5 Buddhas in turn to be present with us in our experience, surrounding us as we meditate, calling on their great wisdom and compassion to support us in this difficult time. So we'll chant the mantra of each Buddha 3 times in call and response. Om Vairochana Hum.
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 Om Vajrakshobhya 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 Hum.
Om Ratnasambhava Trang.
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 Om Amideva Hrihi.
Om Amideva Hri.
Om Amideva Hrihi.
Om Amideva Hri.
Om Amideva Hrihi. Siddhya Hum.
Om Amoga Siddhya Hum.
Om Amoga Siddhya Hum.
Om Amoga Siddhya Hum.
And we'll have a period of mindfulness of breathing. just conclude the meditation by reciting the transference of merit and self-surrender in form and response. Transferring and dedicating any merit from our practice for the benefit of all beings. May the merit gained in my acting thus go to the alleviation of the suffering of all beings. My personality throughout my existences. My possessions. And my merit in all three ways. I give up without regard to myself. For the benefit of all beings. Just as the earth and other elements. Are serviceable in many ways. To the infinite number of beings. Inhabiting limitless space. So may I become. That which maintains all beings. Situated throughout space. So long as all have not attained. To peace. So thanks very much everyone for joining us. Lovely to have you all with us for our Sangha night meditation. I'd just like to make a request for Dharma, for generosity. We're very keen to keep making what we're doing here available to as many people as wish to benefit from it. We want to do that throughout the lockdown and when it's over, we want to make what we do available to as many people as possible. So if you're able to give some money to help us to do that, we would very much appreciate it. It's very easy to do. You can click on the link that's in the video beneath the video that you're looking at, or you can go to the home page of our website. There's a donate button there. It just takes a minute or so. You can give a one-off donation or set up a regular monthly donation. That would be very much appreciated. If your finances are difficult at the moment, well, please just make as much, or avail yourself as much of what we offer as you can. It's freely given, so just take what you need, give what you can. So we're going to move over to Zoom, the Zoom platform, in 5 minutes or so. We have a short break, so make yourself a cup of tea. Stretch your legs, and then if you want to, you can join us on Zoom. So if you haven't done it previously, send an email to info@nottinghambuddhistcentre.org saying you'd like to join the Zoom groups. I'll send an email out with an invitation. You just click on it and you can join the groups. I'm going to start. Arya Varchan's going to be with us. He's going to give a short 10-minute talk on an instant, something from the life of the Buddha, and then we'll split into those groups. So do join us for that if you want to. And once again, lovely to have you all with us. Thank you.